My name is Jacqueline Benton, and I will be reading from the section on Dallas, Texas. The subdivision that that section that I'll be reading from is entitled Heman Sweat, Indiana University, and I'll be reading from the Indiana University part. Before we get to this part, Benny has already graduated from Bishop College, which is a black college in Marshall. She was a piano major, and so now she's starting graduate school. My first piano teacher there was Joseph Block, who taught at the Juilliard School in New York, but was a guest instructor at Indiana University for the summer. He informed me in no uncertain terms that I really did not know how to play the piano. He said I knew the notes on the piano, but had not been taught piano technique, which meant I really didn't know the piano. As a result, he arranged for me to take classes with his former teacher, Bomar Kramer, after the summer when I returned to Texas. Mr. Kramer was a very prestigious teacher who lived by Southern Methodist University in Highland Park, and I would become his first black student. This was risky for him, since taking on a black student in Texas at that time could lose him all his other students, yet he agreed to work with me. I remember going to him one time and playing a piece so badly that he asked, "How could you do that to me?" I replied, "I have a life," and was about to say everything I had going on, but he stopped me, saying, "You also have a gift." I was silent then and could not hold back the tears because I knew I had disappointed him. He was quite an exacting teacher, saying things like, "How can you play that piece properly when you hold your hands like that?" And, "Has anyone ever told you about the independence of fingers?" Both questions addressed piano technique, since the way you hold your hands is how you control the pace, and each finger is independent because it has its own job to do. In Moonlight Sonata, for instance, the melody is on the fifth finger, and the remaining fingers and thumb act as accompaniment. Essentially, piano technique serves the music by giving you the tools you need to express your ideas. So Joseph Block was saying, though I knew all the notes of a piece, I had not learned its music, its song, and it was Bomar Kramer who would ultimately teach me the song of Moonlight Sonata. I continued my lessons with him even after graduating from Indiana University in 1960. Now, the reason I chose this passage is twofold, really. The first reason is probably because I used to play piano when I was much younger. I don't play anymore, but one of the songs that I had played and learned was Moonlight Sonata. I had a very good teacher, a woman from Germany. However, I don't remember her mentioning any of the things that Benny said, Bomar Kramer said to her about piano technique. So that was one thing that made that passage resonate with me, because it just took me back to my own experience, made me think about that. The other reason is because of these two piano teachers that Benny had. Joseph Block first, because I'm sure since Benny had graduated from Bishop with a degree in piano, for him to tell her she couldn't play the piano, I'm sure that she was offended by that. However, she realized that he was right after she started working with Bomar Kramer. But the thing about Joseph Block that I was impressed by was it sounded like he was criticizing her at first, but by the same token, he was saying, "I want you to work with my former teacher." So that was impressive to me. And then the thing about Bomar Kramer that impressed me were the things that Benny said that he said, because those were new things to me. I don't remember them being said to me when I was playing piano. But also because, as she indicated, for him to take her on in Texas, a black student at that time, he could have lost all of his other students. So I just respected him for taking her anyway. And as she said, he was the person who told her that, who showed her the music or the song of Moonlight Sonata, which validated what the other teacher, Joseph Block, had said. So that's the reason why I chose this passage.